Thank you for Hi, thank you for joining me. This is The Origins of Thought by Jason Gray. 2026, 810, 6026, Anno Lucis, 749, GMT -6, #Winnipeg, #Manitoba, #Canada. Or original publication, transmission date, 2023, 1224, 6023, Anno Lucis. Unveiling the hidden truths of existence. The idea that thought is required to create challenges us to reflect deeply on the origins of not only thought, but the very nature of reality. What if the frameworks we have accepted for centuries, scientific, philosophical, and religious, are incomplete, intentionally misleading, or limited by human perception? What if the origins of thought, creation, and consciousness hold truths so profound they disrupt everything we have been taught to believe? The nature of creation and the assumptions we have accepted. From birth, humanity has been taught to view existence through certain established paradigms, that the physical world is primary and thought is merely a byproduct of biological evolution, that reality is defined by observable, measurable phenomena with no room for the intangible or unquantifiable, that humanity is the pinnacle of existence with our systems of power, governance, and belief offering all the answers we need. What if this framework is a carefully constructed illusion? What if thought itself is not a random occurrence in an otherwise indifferent universe, but the very foundation of existence, a force far older, greater, and more complex than we dare to admit? If thought precedes creation, as all evidence of design, order, and structure suggests, we must then ask, who or what designed the system or thought we experience? Was it the work of an ultimate intelligence, or has humanity been led to believe in incomplete or false narratives about its origins and purpose? What created thought, and why does it matter? If thought is a prerequisite for creation, it cannot simply emerge from chaos. Chaos, by its nature, produces randomness, not order. Yet our universe is defined by intricate patterns, laws, and structures, from the spirals of galaxies to the molecular blueprint of DNA. This implies intent, design, or purpose behind existence. But if thought itself was created, then who or what created it? Was it a divine architect? A conscious intelligence beyond comprehension that set everything into motion with intention? If so, why is humanity so disconnected from this source? An intermediary force? Thought is not a single origin, but a relay, passed from higher realms of existence to humanity through what ancient texts often call messengers or creators. If this is true, who stands behind the curtain of our perceived reality? A system beyond time and space? What if thought is eternal, with no beginning or creator, an intrinsic property of the universe itself? If this is the case, why have we been conditioned to believe only the linear cause and effect, shutting us off from cyclical or infinite possibilities? Have we been misled about reality? For centuries, powerful institutions, governments, religious authorities, and even scientific establishments have shaped what humanity is allowed to think and believe. They have defined what we consider real by focusing on materialism and discouraging exploration of non-physical realms, what we consider possible by ridiculous ideas that challenge the status quo, like the nature of consciousness, multidimensional realities, or intelligent design, what we consider truth by presenting history, science, and theology in narrow, controlled narratives that align with their agendas. If humanity has been taught that thought is merely a byproduct of chemical processes, it diminishes the power and mystery of consciousness. If humanity has been led to believe that the universe is cold, indifferent, and devoid of meaning, it discourages questions about the true origins of existence. Consider this. If thought is the foundation of all creation, why do so many systems work to suppress independent thought? Why are questions about reality's ultimate nature dismissed as conspiracy, pseudoscience, or heresy? What do those in power gain by keeping humanity focused only on the surface of existence? Why are we really here? If thought is a creation, then the question of why becomes unavoidable. Why did thought arise? Why does it exist in a universe that could have been empty, silent, and void of meaning? The possibilities. To create. We are here because the universe itself desires expression and creation. Thought allows the infinite possibilities of existence to take form, to be experienced, to be known. To remember. We are fragments of a greater consciousness scattered across time and space, trying to reconnect with the source. The process of thought, creation, and exploration is the journey back to unity. To discover truth. Humanity's purpose is to uncover the layers of illusion and deception that veil the truth of existence, to wake up as individuals and as species to the reality that we are far more than what we have been told. The hard questions we must ask ourselves. If thought is the root of creation, who has shaped the way we think? Who benefits from controlling the collective consciousness of humanity? Why are certain questions about the universe's origins and consciousness discouraged, mocked, or ignored? What if the systems we rely on, education, science, religion, are not designed to enlighten us, but to limit us? What would it mean if humanity's true purpose is to transcend these systems, to rediscover its inherent creative power, and to reclaim its connection to the ultimate source of thought? If creation requires thought, and thought implies intent, what does that mean for our will? Are we active participants in creation, or are we simply following a script written by forces we cannot see? A call to wake up. Humanity has been lied to for centuries. And this is not just merely an academic issue. It is a call to awaken. It is a reminder that the answers to existence's greatest mysteries may not be found in books, institutions, or authorities, but within our own capacity to think, question, and explore. Why are we here? We are here to ask exactly that, to question everything we have been taught, to challenge the illusions that surround us, and to reclaim the full power of thought as the tool for understanding the universe and our place within it. The question is not just what created thought. It is also what will we create with our own thought once we uncover the truth? If we accept that thought is both the foundation of creation and a tool available to us, then the act of questioning, imagining, and envisioning becomes a sacred responsibility. Yet, how often do we pause to consider whether the very frameworks within which we think we were handed to us, not discovered by us? To continue this exploration, we must go deeper into the implications of being beings capable of thought, while potentially constrained by invisible systems of control and deception. What if thought has been weaponized? If thought is the creative force that shapes reality, then controlling thought becomes the most powerful tool for shaping humanity's experience of existence. The suppression or manipulation of thought is not a new phenomenon. It has been a cornerstone of power structures throughout history. Consider religious dogma. For centuries, religious institutions dictated what could and could not be thought, often using fear, punishment, and even death to suppress dissent. Could it be that these institutions are less concerned with spiritual truths and more focused on maintaining control over collective thought? Educational systems. Modern education often prioritizes conformity over creativity, teaching us what to think rather than how to think critically. What if this system is not designed to expand minds, but to constrain them? Media and propaganda. In today's world, the media has immense power to shape public opinion. If our thoughts are influenced by the narratives we consume, how much of what we believe is truly our own? If thought creates reality, then those who control thought control the reality we collectively experience. What if the lies humanity has been told for centuries are not merely about facts, but about the very nature of existence and the potential power of the human mind? The deeper truth about human potential. The true purpose of thought is not just to create, but to transcend. If thought arises from a deeper source, whether divine, universal, or eternal, then its potential may far exceed the limits of what we have been led to believe. Consider the possibilities. Thought as a connection to the infinite. What if thought is a bridge between the material and the immaterial, allowing us to access dimensions of existence beyond what we perceive? Mystics, philosophers, and quantum physicists have long suggested that consciousness might be the key to understanding reality's true nature. Thought as a tool for liberation. If the systems around us are designed to limit thought, then reclaiming the freedom to think independently is an act of liberation. By breaking free from conditional patterns, we might discover entirely new ways of being. Thought as creation in action. What if we are not passive observers of a pre-existing universe, but active participants in shaping it? This idea aligns with theories like the observer effect in quantum mechanics, where reality seems to respond to observation and intent. If these ideas hold even a fraction of truth, then the suppression of thought may be the greatest theft of all, a theft of humanity's ability to fully recognize its potential as co-creators of existence. Have we been deceived about why we are here? The dominant narratives of human existence often reduce life to survival, success, and reproduction. But what if these are distractions from a deeper truth? What if we are not here to simply exist, but to awaken? The narrative of insignificance. We are told we are tiny, insignificant beings in an incomprehensible, vast universe. But what if this narrative is designed to keep us from reorganizing our intrinsic connection to the cosmos and our power to shape it? The narrative of separation. Much of modern life emphasizes individualism, dividing us from one another and from the natural world. But ancient wisdom often speaks of unity, a collective consciousness that humanity has forgotten but can rediscover. The narrative of helplessness. We are conditioned to look outward for answers, to governments, religions, and experts, rather than trusting our own inner intuition and creative potential. What if the key to understanding existence lies not in external authority, but within our own capacity to think, feel, and imagine? These narratives keep us tethered to a narrow view of existence. To break free, we must ask hard questions about the systems that shape our beliefs and about our own complicity in accepting them. Reclaiming thought, the first step to awakening. To question what created thought is to begin the process of reclaiming it. This involves critical self-reflection. How much of what you think is truly your own? Have you questioned the beliefs you hold most deeply, or were they handed to you by family, culture, or authority figures? Exploration beyond the known. Are you willing to entertain possibilities that challenge everything you have been taught? This includes exploring alternative perspectives on science, spirituality, and history. Cultivating inner awareness. Thought is not limited to logic or intellect. What role do intuition, emotion, and silence play in accessing deeper truths? Rejecting fear. Systems of control often use fear to suppress thought. Are you willing to confront the fear of being wrong, of being ostracized, or of stepping into the unknown? The ultimate question, what will we create? If thought is both the origin and the tool of creation, then the future of humanity depends on what we choose to think and create collectively. Will we continue to accept the narratives handed to us, or will we forge a new understanding of reality? Will we create a world defined by division, control, and limitation, or one of unity, freedom, and infinite possibility? Will we allow the lies of the past to dictate our future, or will we reclaim the truth of our existence and our power to shape it? If thought created us, what are we capable of creating in return? To explore these questions and to embrace the ultimate mystery of existence. If thought itself was created, then are we part of an ongoing act of creation? The question is not only who or what created thought, but whether we will use our own thought to awaken, to question, and to create a reality worthy of its profound origins. Jason Gray, December 24, 2023. That's a very interesting one. There's a question that has been coming to mind lately about awakening. And I've sort of landed with Advaita Vedanta's teachings of asking the question of, to whom does this arise when I'm observing thoughts? And that's getting me, clearly to awareness, which is what it's intended to do. It's I think the fastest way there personally. But there's another question that keeps coming up, and that is, who is telling me to wake up? We have these thoughts that arise in the mind, and the mind is not our friend, and the mind, kind of just this constantly, just this annoying chatter and this ridiculousness. But if that's the case, and the mind cannot be trusted, then what is saying wake up? So I don't know. I haven't sorted that out yet. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.